Hello and welcome to the Track Talk season review of 2016 as we have a look back on another fabulous year at the Singapore Turf Club. We saw the emergence of the marvellous debt collector. Trained by Cliff Brown, he won the Singapore Guineas as a 3-year-old and as a 4-year-old later in the year went on to take out the Group 1 Cranie Mile and also the Group 1 Raffles Cup. David Koch won his first Singapore Derby courtesy of Well Done, and a Zack Spirit, a wonderful sprinter trained by Cliff Brown, returned from a break in Australia, returned from injury to take out the Lion City Cup for a second time. The jockey ranks grew stronger with the arrival of the likes of Denny Beasley, Vlad Jurek and Glenn Boss, with Boss snaring the Patrons Bowl and QE2 Cup mid-year. CC Wong claimed his first apprentice title, Manuel Nunez his third jockey's premiership, and Alvin Tan, after recent seconds, went one better to storm away with the trainer's premiership. Stephen Gray had a weekend to remember late in the year, snaring the EW Barker and Singapore Gold Cup, whilst it was Cliff Brown and Michael Rodd who notched many Group 1s through the year. We farewell Singapore's greatest rocket man and watched on with frustration as Spalato and Emperor Max both suffered season-ending issues early in the year. Despite the setbacks, Spalato still dazzled racegoers with his big win in the Merlion Trophy. So let's go back to January 1st, way back to the first meeting and the first feature, the New Year Cup. A race that in recent years has been at the mercy of South African Pat Shaw with wins of Escamonda, Lazar and Keshwa. It again was the Pat Shaw show, with the stable saddling up Gold Cup winners Coptado and Keshwa, along with Emperor's Banquet and Perfect P, who ran a creditable third in the 2015 Singapore Gold Cup. Taking on the Shaw quartet was Order of the Sun, a bold front-running type who was coming off his dead heat victory in the Colonial Chief at the final meeting in 2015.
So they're pretty well strung out here for a staying race on the poly track, and the front runner is Order of the Sun. And so going to turn off the back, leading by a length over in second. Emperor's Banquet just edging a little closer. Perfect Peas enjoyed a lovely run. Wild Geese the outsiders, they go by the 800 metres. Next of all then is Keshwa, just being niggled along over on the inside from Coptado. Then came Dujardin, Valbuena, Seabro still well back, not really travelling all that well, being ridden along from Cheddar on Fire and Bourbon Goldman. Top of the straight they come. Order of the Sun of the 500 metres still travels fairly strongly as they turn in. Perfect P ran to second. Emperor's Banquet dropped off. Keshwa begins to plug away over on the inside from Coptado. Dujardin, Cheddar on Fire, but Perfect P quickly pounced up on the outside of Order of the Sun, who fights on strongly. Keshwa coming across their heels but spots the leader 3 lengths as Perfect P begins to race away from Order of the Sun. Keshwa won't give in. He runs on strongly down the outside, but Perfect P is perfect start of the year in 2016, takes the New Year Cup. Perfect P easily by 4.
A deserved victory for Perfect P in track record time. Raced by Thai Connections, who were on course for the race, unlike Shaw, who as usual was away for the opening feature of the season. After narrowly missing out on the New Year Cup on In Fact in 2015, Niraj Jaglal went one better in 2016, beginning the year as one of the form jockeys before misfortune would strike, suffering a nasty fall at the trials a few weeks later that would rule him out for a few months. Just over a month later, the second feature of the year would be run over Chinese New Year. The 2,000-metre Fortune Bowl would see Pat Shaw have an incredible 6 runners in the Group 3. With only 10 runners in the field, the stage was set for another demolition job from the master South African trainer.
They swing down the side of the track, and Order of the Sun with a massive lead, still by 9 lengths over Perfect P in second. 3 lengths away then to Majestic Moments. Keshwa now being felt for. Emperor's Banquet trying to tag onto its back from Power Play. Coptado going backwards from Blue Danube Martin, and back of the tail is Squire Rolls Balderston. Order of the Sun led by 4 as they turn in. Over Perfect P in second, followed then by Majestic Moments. Keshwa trying to finish on down the outside, and the rest headed by Emperor's Banquet. Order of the Sun running on empty is joined here by Perfect P. Keshwa out in the middle running on strongly. Perfect P went to the lead. Keshwa coming after it. Perfect P the leader. Keshwa out wider. Emperor's Banquet. Keshwa looms up the lead. Emperor's Banquet going with it, but Keshwa reaches the front of another trophy for the cabinet. Keshwa wins it a neck over Emperor's Banquet.
Keshwa had gone winless since the Emirates Singapore Derby triumph in 2015. Coming off a fast pace and given a patient ride by regular partner Corey Brown, Keshwa's win boosted his prize money over $2.4 million. After the win, Shaw was holding hopes of an invitation for Keshwa to run in the rich Dubai Shima Classic in March. But an untimely outbreak of strangles in Singapore saw the cancellation of Dubai plans for Keshwa and other Dubai-bound hopefuls from Singapore. One of the runners who was shaping as Singapore's best chance in Dubai was the brilliant Spalato. Resuming with a brilliant 1,000-metre polytrack win, carrying 59.5 kilos and running a scorching 57.93, everything seemingly was on track. Despite losing intended jockey Michael Rodd to injury, Corey Brown picked up the mount and the pair combined for a first-up win.
My Lucky Strike makes it interesting, but Spalato too good. Spalato by a half over My Lucky Strike.
Brilliant on his day, but frequently struck down with niggling injuries, the son of elusive city would next tackle the first leg of the Singapore Sprint Series, the Merlion Trophy over 1,200 metres on the polytrack. After the discontinuation of the KrisFlyer International Sprint, the Singapore Turf Club promoted the Merlion Trophy to Group 2 status while boosting the prize money from $200,000 up to $350,000.
So 800 metres left to go, and it's Faultless who led narrowly, although Wimbledon is going on with a job and Happy Money going up in the middle. Kiwi Karma in a nice spot is back in fourth, and Spalato having a nice trip, he's fifth. Goalkeeper further back with Hooker Falls. El Padrino's being called upon, under the whip about 3 lengths away, and Step It Up back at the rear, so around the turn they come, and it's Wimbledon out wide racing up with Happy Money and also Faultless. Kiwi Karma and Spalato, geez, travelling well into the straight, and here he comes in the familiar green silks. It's Spalato who ambles up and grabs the front. Now back in the pack, El Padrino about 4 lengths away. Hooker Falls battling on fairly well, but he goes for the whip on Spalato. 3 lengths in front. El Padrino making ground, but with 100 metres to go, it's Spalato in front. He's too good, and he's racing away, and Spalato's going to take the Merlion Trophy easily. Spalato by 3.5.
He's a pleasure to ride. He jumped, he travelled really well. I followed Kiwi Karma. I thought there was going to be a little bit more speed in the race, but I didn't have the tempo from the barrier to kick and go outside the leader, so I just thought I'd ride him again how I rode him last time, let him tell me what he's thinking. But from the 600 when I released, went up 1 gear, he circled the field and he won as he liked.
A second feature for Corey Brown in 2016 and a 10th racetrack victory for Spalato. He was simply breathtaking. With the disappointment of having to miss his main aim in Dubai, owner Graham Mackey announced that Spalato may also miss the Cranie Sprint. Moving on to the first leg of the 3-year-old challenge, the Group 3 Destas Singapore Sprint. An emerging local trainer, Elvin Tan, seemed to have 3 runners of interest for the 1,200 metre feature. They were Infantry and Nova Strike, who had both shown plenty of talent from limited appearances, and also Conflight, who was the less fashionable of the Tan trio, starting at a price of $269. Also in the race was Magnum, who was representing Michael Freedman for the last time before Freedman's departure to Australia would see his horses switched across to young Englishman James Peters.
Over on the inside, Nova Strike as they settle from next of all Limbs Night, getting a little bit crowded, so too Golden Sword, whipping around the outside, Maritz Eclipse. Out wider is Peer Gent, Infantry, Bandito, Oh What a Feeling, Raffaello, and back to the tail is Elise. Down the side, 750 metres to go. Conflight shows the way as they turn down the side over Awesome in second. Magnum moving up on the outside, Marine Treasure travels well the inside, followed by Astro Jet, then Golden Sword who needs room, he's improving between horses. Maritz Eclipse outside of him from Nova Strike, then came Limbs Night at the top of the straight. Oh What a Feeling, peeling to the outside with Peer Gent. For home they come, and Conflight is the leader. Up on the outside is Awesome coming after it. Magnum asks for his effort. Golden Sword down the outside, battling away is Astro Jet, but Conflight gives a kick. A furlong from home, he led by a half length over Awesome. Magnum lengthening out in the middle, but Conflight has raced away in the Desta 3-year-old sprint. Magnum tries to pick him up, but Conflight is well clear. Magnum a last dive on the outside, but Conflight in an upset.
Securing the early lead of the Group 3 sprint with a pedestrian first sectional of 24.94, Oscar Chavez's slow tempo took away the chances of the backmarkers, and there were many hard luck tails. 2 of Singapore's finest sprinters in recent years, Emperor Max and Zack Spirit, would have only 2 runs in 2016. They would clash in both the Cranie Sprint and the Lion City Cup. Zack Spirit was returning from Australia, where he had been recovering from injury. Having won the Cranie Sprint twice, including a win with 58 kilos in 2015, Zack Spirit would only carry 54 kilos in 2016, courtesy of the surprise inclusion of Spalato, with Connections having a change of heart and accepting with their star galloper.
Over on the outside is Happy Money as they come to the top of the straight and still 4 lengths to El Padrino. Top of the lane they come, and Goalkeeper has set a very quick tempo as they turn in, still by 4 over Kiwi Karma. Emperor Max, Wimbledon over on the inside, then Zach Spirit. Spalato on the outside trying to respond. Goalkeeper came back to the field, 300 metres to go. Emperor Max zoomed up on the outside with Kiwi Karma. Then Wimbledon, Zach Spirit. Spalato can't win. It's Emperor Max going to the lead. Zach Spirit down the outside. Wimbledon running a race over on the fence. Emperor Max in front. Wimbledon, Zach Spirit coming it. Emperor Max just in front in the Cranie Sprint. Wimbledon, Zach Spirit finish on, but Emperor Max takes it out 3/4 of a length over Zach Spirit.
Travelling wide and first up from a 6-month break, Emperor Max's performance was phenomenal. With regular rider Corey Brown opting to stick with Spalato after multiple wins, it was Denny Beasley who would pick up the winning ride on Singapore's reigning champion sprinter. On the same day as the Cranie Sprint, the JBBA Moonbeam Vase. Pat Shaw produced his usual array of stayers, including Derby aspirants Time Odyssey, who was a renowned polytracker, and also Majestic Moments. Titanium, who was having his first run under the guidance of newly licensed trainer James Peters, was the punter's elect. He was another who was targeting the Derby and indeed other races through the upcoming 4-year-old challenge.
And Martin back at the tail. 400 metres to go. Order of the Sun, the leader. Now Majestic Moments comes after it. Time Odyssey between horses. In fact, been under pressure but continues to run on. Titanium down the outside. Hughesy's call to the day. Going to the lead is Majestic Moments. Over, in fact, Titanium out wide is finishing on. In fact, the despised Ruffy's gone to the lead. Titanium is coming at him, but in fact, the leader over Titanium, and a big upset in the JBBA Moonbeam Vase, in fact, wins a neck.
A shock result was stable apprentice Mohammed Firdaus winning his first feature race in Singapore at $274. The win sending Firdaus to 12 wins for the season, 4 wins clear of Troy C in the apprentice's jockey title. After the first leg of the 3-year-old challenge was run at a farcical pace, there were many who believed that the result may well be different over 1,400 metres in the Singapore 3-year-old Classic. Magnum, who was gallant in defeat in the 3-year-old sprint, had drawn gate 15 and would start second favourite behind the improving Mr Scorsese. Vlad Jurek had posted impressive wins on the son of Pentire, as well as Fitzroy and also Debt Collector. Jurek opted for Mr Scorsese. John Powell rode Fitzroy, and Michael Rodd, coming back from injury, landed the role on Debt Collector.
The wind picking up some ground now. Marine Treasure between horses from Peer Gent. Mr Scorsese improves along the inside, followed by Nova Strike. Infantry caught out wide. Next is Lim Showcase. 2 off then to Fitzroy. Then came Debt Collector and Magstock back towards the tail. Tillings away in the field into terms of reference. And last of all is Rich Fortune. Down the side, Conflight, as he did in the sprint, shows the way. Conflight led from the wind in second. Lim Samurai trapped out 3 wide with the gold cap. Mr Scorsese enjoying a lovely run over on the rails ahead of Raffaello. Marine Treasure. Magnum's 4 wide. Next is Lim Showcase. Debt Collector improving between horses from Nova Strike. Well back Peer Gent as they turn in from Fitzroy. And Infantry coming to the outside. They turn in the wind. Moves up on the outside of Conflight. Mr Scorsese needs room. He's beginning to get a little bit of daylight now, and Magnum chimes in quickly. Nova Strike is down the outside. Peer Gent from a long way off them. And Debt Collector emerges between runners. Conflight in front. Over Magnum, and here's Debt Collector running on. Peer Gent down the outside. Debt Collector goes up on the outside of Magnum. Reaches the front, and Debt Collector races away. Debt Collector takes out the Classic.
After 2 months in a moon boot, victory was sweet for Michael Rodd, returning from an ankle injury sustained in mid-February at the Barrier Trials, forming a formidable partnership with Debt Collector. This is the Track Talk season end review, and after the break, Singapore's star sprinters will battle it out in the Group 1 Lion City Cup.